Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got an excellent show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So, as you guys know, yesterday, the Bombshell news dropped with a shocking 13-page lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe, essentially accusing him of assault and all kind of egregious and crazy atrocious accusations. So we went live about that. We did a show. People reacted to it. And then Shannon Sharpe put out a response on his Instagram, which we're going to reiterate a little bit later on in this show. We did a show about that as well. So in the midst of all of that, while we were discussing this on the live stream that we did yesterday, I said that the timing of this is very, very problematic. The reason I say so is because, as you guys know, the prior Friday that just passed, the news dropped that Shannon Sharpe was essentially gearing up for a $100 million extension with the Volume Podcast Network, and it's essentially going to be a deal that's comprised of some of the other shows like Jeff Teague's podcast, the show that he has, I think Bumblebees or Buzzbees or whatever the hell it is, in terms like the show with the ladies there. And there was another podcast included as well. So Shannon Sharpe, things were looking up, right? And the reports were he was going to receive a $100 million contract. So when this lawsuit dropped and we heard the amount that he was being sued for, which is $50 million, and the timing of it, I was like, well, what the hell is going on here? And then while we're discussing that, I also said, how does this affect his status on ESPN? Because as you guys know, ESPN is a Disney company. It's owned by Disney. So I was like, well, is this going to affect his status there on the show? Is he going to still be on ESPN? No one knew. So I woke up this morning and I came across an article from Awful Announcement with the following headline saying, Shannon Sharpe to appear on First Take tomorrow amid lawsuit. I'm like, oh, well, it looks like this is not going to have an effect on his status on ESPN First Take. So this is the report that we want to get into. But before we even get into what this report had to say, today's video is brought to you by a sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60-plus states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I am super excited about this Game 2 matchup between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Here's what I like to do. I turn on all-in pricing so I know exactly what I'm paying for upfront. I check Game Time Picks to find out the most valuable deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into this report here. It says Shannon Sharpe will make his regular appearance on ESPN's First Take tomorrow after a civil lawsuit alleging he engaged in sexual assault and battery was made public Monday morning. According to Andrew Marchand of The Athletic, Sharpe will do the show as normal on Tuesday, and he is not expected to address any of the allegations on air. So I just want to quickly read the tweet from Andrew Marchand. It says Shannon Sharpe is going to be on First Take for his regular Tuesday appearance tomorrow morning and is not going to be expected to address the ongoing civil suit, according to a source briefed on the plan. So that's what he said. I just want to quickly read a few other things. It says the 13-page lawsuit, which Sharpe was served on Easter Sunday, alleges the popular sports media personality secretly recorded their sexual encounters without her knowledge, and also outlines 2 alleged incidents of sexual assault. And then it says Sharpe responded publicly online. So I want to get to that momentarily. So I want to read from another article and then read some of what it says. It says Shannon Sharpe's legal team calls lawsuit egregious. Attempt at blackmail, releases salacious text messages. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of the R word, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. A day after Shannon Sharpe was served a 13-page lawsuit by an anonymous plaintiff alleging sexual assault and battery, Sharpe's legal team responded with a statement of its own. The statement posted to Sharpe's account on X, an email to Awful announcing via a PR team names the anonymous alleged plaintiff and includes text containing salacious messages that the woman whom Sharpe's team alleges is Gabriela Zuniga purportedly sent to Sharpe between October 2023 and January in 2025. Now, I just want to quickly say this, that we're not going to go over those text messages because they're very, very to be quite honest with you, they're just a little bit too much for YouTube. But I just want to quickly read the tail end of what was posted there. It essentially says, these text messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic sexual communications initiated by Ms. Zuniga. The evidence paints a clear picture that it was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by Ms. Zuniga. The edited tape that Ms. Zuniga secretly taped and showed to Mr. Sharpe during her blackmail attempt tries to falsely portray, as a result of the editing and out of context from prior text messages, that the sexual activity was not consensual. But Mr. Sharpe now believes her secret taping was all a part of her planned setup as a part of her blackmail scheme, and as distorted by her editing tape, a copy of which she refused to make available to Mr. Sharpe or his counsel. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of R, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. He stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. He looks forward to vindication through due process and a judgment based on facts and the law. Okay, so you guys know that. Now let me just give you guys some of my thoughts, and it's going to be a little bit of a amalgamation of some of what I said yesterday. Look, I don't know if any of this is true, and this lawsuit doesn't say that this is, like, it doesn't prove that it's true, right? It's all alleged, right? Until this is proven in court, we don't know. I certainly don't know. So let's just get that out of the way. Here's some of the things that stood out to me. First of all, the timing of it. Okay, the timing of it just seemed a little bit too coincidental, given the fact, as I said earlier in the show, that he's in line to get a $100 million contract. And to me, I just don't think you're going to be suing people for money you think they don't have. All right, so if you're suing somebody for $50 million, you must think they have at least $50 million, a little bit more than that. So you got that aspect of it. Another part that I don't think should be overlooked is the fact that one of the lawyers representing her is Tony Buzbee. Okay, and Tony Buzbee has a checkered past. He represented the 20 plaintiffs that came against Deshaun Watson. That's number one. Number two, he was also part of that Diddy Jay-Z lawsuit. He was the one that came forward with this witness or whatever that said that, or this plaintiff that came out and said that Jay-Z and Diddy art her, just to find out later on that it was all a lie. It was all made up, absolutely made up. And Jay-Z called him an ambulance chaser. As a matter of fact, it's important that we say this. Jay-Z said as a result of some of his crazy antics on the part of Tony Buzbee, it cost him a $20 million contract, which he's going to have to make Jay-Z whole. So Tony Buzbee right now is looking for money. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but we also have to look at the person in question. Tony Buzbee isn't a signal of virtue, right? So when I heard his name, I began to get a little bit skeptical about all of this. Now, again, I'm not saying that I know what took place here, but that part stood out to me. And finally, I'll say this. That situation with that ridiculous audio that was leaked of Shannon Sharpe having hoo-ha time with whatever Lady Michelle was, I said that was a gross mistake. Now, Shannon said it was a mistake, but then came on Nightcap that's the following evening or the same evening promoting a sex product and was bragging about the fact that, man, I put it down. And I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? You're above this. And I think that whenever you put yourself in those type of spaces, you open up yourself to this kind of nonsense. And what the lady said in the lawsuit is that he recorded me without my consent. Listen to this. So given the fact that we already have a situation like this with recordings and all of that stuff, it paints a picture of somebody that is in the realm of this type of activity. And I said that was a gross misstep. Some people got at me, oh, you're hitting on me. I'm like, nah, man, you're too big for that. You don't need every bit of press. But some people, no. A lot of us thought that was just a bunch of hogwash, that entire story going live. So look, to me, there are a lot of question marks surrounding this case. What we're doing here is just giving you guys an update that Shannon Sharpe's status on ESPN First Take will not be affected. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about the decision from ESPN, and where do you see this case going? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.